everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name's Annie and this is my creative detour. I just wanted to show you a little bit of what I've been working on lately. I picked up the Candy Treats quick card collection. I picked up 2 packets actually, one for my mother and one for myself. And I also picked up the cut aparts, and we've been working on them the last few weeks, and I've finished them all off. So I actually did a video of everything that was included in the kits before I cut it all apart. So I'll do a little throwback video to show you what was in it, and I'll meet you back here in a moment. Okay, everyone, let's flash back in time to looking at what the paper collection looked like before I started cutting it up. The collection that I picked up was the Candy Treats Quick Cards collection. It's a 6x8 collection. It has 6 sheets, double-sided designs, so 12 designs, and then there's 3 of each sheet. So you basically get 18 double-sided sheets. And you also get 4 die-cut sheets that have got the embossed treatment on. And they're already die cut, they pop out, and they've got that it's kind of like a surface embossing, like a glossy accents. The quality of the cards very good, perfect for making cards, layering cards. It's 200 GSM, which I think is £80 cardstock. So let's have a quick look at those. The first sheet has some sweet vans on it, ice cream vans or candy trucks or something like that. Then on the back, it's got a blue and white polka dots, a white polka dot, blue background. The next one has all different teacups or cups on it with treats in it, macaroons, ice cream, etc. And then on the back, it is a green base with a white polka dot. This one's got all different sized tags that have got stripes and florals on them with a band through it, and then on the back a blue stripe, and it's kind of got like a wrinkled or ruffled fabric look to it. This one has a blue background with brickwork and render on the top of it, and it's quite rustic looking, and then it's got a band through it with some florals, and on the back we have a diagonal blue stripe. Then we have this one that has lots of florals on it with a band through it, and they're roses. And then on the back we have a table laden with different treats, cakes, tarts, biscuits, fruit, and some flowers. And then lastly we have this one. This is my favorite one. It has stacks or piled high of macaroons, donuts, milkshakes, ice creams, and different treats with a band through it. And then on the back, once again, that brickwork, rustic brickwork with really rough render on it, and it's got a green color to it. Let's have a quick look at the die cuts. So we have this die cut with the ephemera in it, and you can see that they're die cut out. You've just got to pop them out, and they've got that embossed treatment on it that we all love. Then there's 3 sheets with circles on it, 3 circles on each one, and some sentiments, so 8 sentiments on each sheet, and the sentiments repeat. They're just in different colors. This one's got a nice flower shop on it, and a nice cup full of ice cream and waffles. And this one, it has come out already, the ice cream. And this one here, we have our ice cream van and our sundae scoop of ice cream. Then lastly in the kit is a inspo sheet, and it gives you a bit of an idea of how you can just copy exactly what they've done. They have 6 different design cards, so 3 on each side, and you can essentially just copy these and create 6 beautiful cards multiple times, and not have to design too much yourself. Or you can use this as a springboard for you to elevate your own design. So that's the quick cards kit. In addition to that, I also purchased the cutter parts. Now the cutter parts are exactly that. You have to cut them apart. They are not die cut. They are excellent quality though. They come on 300 GSM. I don't know whether you can hear that. They're really thick. So I think that's approximately 110, something like that, pound cardstock. And there's 18 in the pack, 18 sheets. There's 6 designs, so 3 of each. So lots and lots of images for you to fussy cut out. So I'll just have a quick look through those. I'll probably just show them to you and then point out my favorite one. So this on this page, this is my favorite, down here with the strawberries and the vertical thin stripe on the cup. On this one, my favorite is probably this lovely big milkshake with the candy cane straw sticking out of it. On this one, I think the stack of macaroons is my favorite. On this one, my favorite's probably this little ice cream sundae, or it might be a milkshake actually, but it's in a really nice retro little glass with the cherries. This one here, my favorite is probably the ice cream down here. I really like the design on this teacup. And then on this page, I can't go past this one here, this teacup with the little raspberries on it. It's beautiful. So I'll probably be cutting some of those out. So when you see this, you will have already seen some of the designs that I have made. So I will have fussy cut out some of these, and you'll be seeing those. Will have seen those on the cards that I've used. So yeah, that's the resources that I use. So let's head back into the project that you've been watching. Okay, so this is what I've made so far. I actually am going to do a little bit of a tutorial today. I'll do 3 cards on screen of some things that I've been working, a variation on the collection really. So in the kit, you can see here that you get some inspo sheet, and it's got 6 designs on it, but I actually changed them a little bit. But let's have a little step through the ones that I actually did try and follow. So this one here, I switched out the, you can see I switched out the cup, and I put the ice cream and changed the sentiment. And then I did, for the second one, I did a variation on it, and I used an arch die and did some embossing, and I put a horizontal band across it. So it's similar, but it's got a slight twist to it. So that was those 2. This one here, it's pretty close. I just changed the position of the sentiment a little bit, but essentially it's pretty much the same. And then this is the second one that I did that was similar to that. A similar layout, but I just used a different background. You can see I cut out an arch with a background or a mat, and then I also did an embossed background. So that was those 2. The third one, I'm actually going to be doing something with this one, but here's the similar one. I did change the main feature and then the ephemera and the sentiment. So I changed these components, but I kept the background and the pattern paper. Then on to the back page. This one I switched it up a little bit. You can see that I moved the, I kept the same feature element. I put some donuts on, and I used the same sentiment, but I just put it in a different location. You can see also that I actually have cut the feature pattern paper down quite a bit and put a mount behind actually most of the cards. The next one that I did that was that sort of a similar layout was this one. So I just used this element and just changed those a little bit. For this one, I kept the structure of the card, but I changed out the feature element, and I actually put some of the flowers in there as well. And then for this last one, this is actually not the pattern paper that you get. It's actually a green color here, and this stripe doesn't happen. So the brickwork is green, and you can see that I have changed it quite a bit because the paper is different than what is shown on the image. And this is the other one that I did like that. So I created this one. It's a Valentine's card, and I stamped this out of some stamps, some retired stamps from Stampin' Up, and mounted this onto a background, and I just put love you more, and then I stamped inside then cake. Now will show you, I'll pop that one there. For all of the cards, I actually have mounted inside on a coloured mount and just a white background. For most of them, they are blank because I like to keep them blank because I don't know what I'm going to be using them for or whether I'm giving them away. I usually always put a little bit of the scraps in, and I have a bag. So this is all I have left of the scrappies from the kit. But I did manage to make two more cards like these ones, which are similar to those, so I'll pop them on those piles. And I just die cut out some circles and put them on. But you can see that all of these are all mounted, are all got just a decorative offcut on the inside, and they've been, the white card to write on is mounted. As you know, heard me mention before, I live in Australia, so we use the metric system. So our cards are A6 in size. So I've actually printed out a size of just here of what I'm using. So if you want to, I'll actually hold it here for a moment and hold it still so you can do a screenshot if you like. So this is card 1 that I'm going to work on, and that's this card here. I've pretty much cut most of the components, and I'll just run through how I changed it up a little bit. So I do have a mount for the inside, as you can see, and I have an offcut as well. So I'll just pop that to the side because I tend to do that last. So that will be there. And you can see on this one here, this is the one where we're working on, it has this paper as the background, and you can see that I have die cut out the arch out of that, and then I've also die cut a scrap piece of card to pop into that so that it's all level, and I've actually already stuck down the feature paper to a background mount. So I'm just going to glue those down. I'll leave that there for the moment. And now I'm just going to position the arch onto the background. You can see here that I've also just cut out slightly smaller arch and a I've run it through with an embossing folder with a dot on it, just to give it a little bit of interest. I have been, I think I mentioned on another video that I quite like fussy cutting out. I'm not sure whether I think I'm in the minority with that, to be honest. I think that most people don't like fussy cutting. I don't mind it, actually. I don't mind um, just doing something that is, it's fairly mindless. You don't have to concentrate too much on it. And I can just, while I'm watching something, I can fussy cut out a few things, as long as the light's pretty good. Now you notice here that with the sizing that I'm using, we obviously are using the metric system here, and I did put onto the printout there, this printout, I did put some imperial measurements. I do actually use quite a lot of imperial measurements. I can flip flop from one to the other. To be honest, I have done lots of measuring in my previous career, and was able to. I can kind of work in both imperial and metric. I do primarily use metric, but I can manage to do things in imperial. Now all I'm doing here is, you can see that I don't want to see the arch around the back of this cup here. I'm just not happy with how it looks, so I'm actually going to snip that off. I just drew a few little scratch lines on it, and now the cup won't show the little bit of the arch around the bottom, so I'm happier with that. I'm going to glue that down. Now you can see here I've got this on. I'm about to glue it down, but I'm not happy that the saucer is not level, so I'm going to just grab some scrap just to go on the saucer. And now it's sitting nice and level. That there in case I want to put some more on. Okay. And we're going to just put a little strawberry on here on the saucer. Dimensional tape, and I actually buy this tape from Bunnings here in Australia. It's actually huge. It's about this big. When I buy it, it's around about, I think, 40 centimeter diameter. It's more than 30 centimeters, that's for sure. And I actually buy the 1 millimeter in thickness. Yeah, that's pretty good. And it's because it's from the hardware store, it's pretty strong. It's sometimes I add a little bit of extra glue to it if I think that it's going to be a while before I use the cards. I might think, oh, I'm not sure how long the cards are going to sit in storage, or before I give them away, or people use them. So I might sometimes put a bit of glue on it if I think that they're going to be sitting on. Mount the card, the center in the card to write on. I don't tend to put a massive amount of glue in the middle, because I don't really like how the glue shines around the, or sometimes shows bumps on it. Around the edge I'm okay with, but through the center I don't tend to like that too much. Now, that's pretty much what I've done. So you can see that I started with this, but then I modified it, and on these ones you can see that I've put some clear crystal mix gems from paper rose. I'm not sure whether they're picking up there. I've actually got them in a little container because there's hundreds and hundreds of them, and I'm not sure if there's 4 sizes. I think there might be 4 different sizes. So this one here, I actually used my glossy accents, and I came through and put some shine onto them, and I just tend to follow where there's a bit of a shadow. This is the one that I've just made, so I'll come through and do some of that, and I'll put some embellishments on, and these ones here are the die cuts, and they've got lovely embossing treatment on them. I did make a table showing the elements that I used in cards 2 and 3. They're both basically the same components, but they're different papers. So I've got on there the mount paper, the pattern paper in metric and in imperial, the inside mount and the inside white card. You can see that we're using an A6 size card, and I've got the dimensions of what an A6 card is there. Okay, so this one is based on our inspiration image from here, but I actually am using the paper. So you can see here I've got the mount, and I've got the decorative paper cut as well. And then I've sort of changed what I'm doing here with the element, but I'm just using different components. So I'll leave that there. And you can see that I've cut this first mount to 10 centimeters by 14.4, and then I've cut the pattern paper to 9 centimeters by 14.4. So I'm just going to glue that together, and here's our card. I'll pop that up there for the moment. So the biggest thing for me with doing a tutorial like this is I'm going to have to work out what to talk about. So that's going to be my biggest challenge, is that I don't have any quiet pauses, that I'm not really saying anything and I'm just crafting away in my little zone that I love being in, and you're thinking, is she going to speak? So I will have to start to think about some things to talk about. Now I'm just trying to work out which way these bows go. I think most of them go that way, so I'm going to glue that down. I did actually do some other things with this collection. I didn't use all of it to make cards. I will show you a glimpse of what I've got coming up next. I did a session with my mother a week ago, is when we started, last Thursday, and I did a session where we basically did one of each card with the slight changes that I decided to do. I'm just trying to find a little bit of a scrap piece to go on here. I've got some green. I did about another 8 cards, I think, 8 or 9 cards, where I just mixed them up, which is the ones that I showed you at the beginning of the video. And then I thought, oh, I won't keep making cards out of everything. I think I'll do something different. And I did post a few weeks ago a video showing some Lindt chocolate gift cards that I'd made for Christmas for my work colleagues. So if you haven't seen that video, it's on the channel. I'll try and work out how to put a link to it. And they were so well received that I've had people asking me, am I going to do a tutorial on that on that project. So I thought, oh, well, maybe I should do for Valentine's Day, maybe I should do some of these cards and use the remainder of this kit to make some of those. So I hope I'm in frame. I'm trying to remember to stay in frame. I have done that, and I've got 3 finished, and I've got 1 to do a tutorial on. So I'll do a little bit of a quick flash to show you those. At the end of this video, I'll show you what I've been working on. Now, when I was going through the elements that came in here, the die cut elements, I decided that I wanted to cut the combi van or the camper van out of this and use it somewhere else. And actually, I'll show you where I used it, and then you'll get to see the chocolate gift card. So this is what I also have made, which I'll be doing a video. My next video will be on that. So you can see that I cut out the camper van and I've stuck it in here. So I didn't like the colouring of the camper van with the green. So it was a good example here, and I decided to leave it to show you that you don't have to stick to whatever is in that circle that's in the pack of die cuts. If you want to cut it out, just cut it out with a die and do something else with it. So that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm just going to glue it down, and then I've got a scrap piece here that I'm going to put in it so that it is up to the right level. And I wanted to cut the combi van out, use it somewhere else, and use the green with the red. Now you can see that I had this in my scrap, and I'm going to cover that up now and cover the stitching with a die cut circle that I've embossed with the dots, so that I'm creating a bit of a collection that goes together. When I put them together, the different cards together, they kind of, with the dots, they kind of work. I did make another order with Paper Rose. I'm not sure if any of you have looked at their website recently, but about 2 or 3 days ago they released a new collection called Bees and Butterflies, and I couldn't resist, so I did purchase that. I purchased a range of products in that collection, so when that gets posted, I'll be able to bring that to you as well and show you what I do with that. I've got no idea what I'm going to make with it, but I just saw it and thought, oh, I like that one. Okay, so there's the next card. You can see that it is a variation on this one, and I just did a few different things with the circles. All right, the last card, which is the same as this, I'll leave it there. You can take a screenshot if you like, is this card here. Let me find it. So I thought I need to try and do something Valentine's. You know, I just liked these on the table, the cakes and everything, and I thought, oh, maybe I can do something with that. So I just found a retired stamp in my stash from Stampin' Up, and it says, love you more, and then inside I put then cake, and just use some scrap down here. And it's kind of Valentine's-y, but it's not over the top. But that's as good as I could come up with limited resources. So as you can see, I was getting to the end of my supplies, So you can see that here I've got mount number 1. I've got 10 centimeters by 14.4. That's what this should be in the polka dot, but I'd ran out and I just had scraps. So I just stuck some scraps on the side. I cut this paper to the right size, which is the pattern paper. I cut it to 9 centimeters, 9 centimeters by 14.4. And then I just stuck a little bit on the side, overhanging it. And then before it's set, I just made sure that it was measuring 10 centimeters top and bottom overall. So you can see here that I have stamped, and then I've also die cut the stamp and die cut a backing for it. And I've cut off just a small length of ribbon, and it is 17 centimeters. I'd actually put a little bit of glue on this. I'm going to position that where I want it. And back. Get some tape. Just some double-sided tape. Ribbon down. Try and keep it level. Yep, that's great. I'm just going to peel that off now. Now I can put the glue on. Put a little bit of glue along that ribbon. If you're wondering what cloths I'm using a microfiber cloth. I've got a few of them. I use them from IKEA. And they wash really well. This one here is actually a little bit better. You can see that it's got glue stains and everything on it. But I run them through the wash every now and then. And then when they get a little bit past it, I throw them out. They're super cheap and easy. So, okay, so I'm happy with that. And we have a piece of scrap here. I'm just going to stick that on the bottom. I like putting, some of you might be thinking, why can't you just write on the middle here, or why can't you just stick a piece of scrap in the middle of the card? I could, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. I just personally prefer to mount the inside of my card as well. And the only reason for doing that is I like a bit of weight to the card because the card is quite narrow, and it's a different shape than cards that you use in America. I like it to have a little bit of weight to it. So by mounting the middle, it makes the card feel substantial. So you can see here, I just put a little bit of glossy accents. I'm not sure whether that's picking it up, onto the fruit and the cake. And I didn't think about it too much, really. I just sort of went for it. I might just quickly do some, and then you can see how I do it. I don't really overthink it. I just look for where there's shadows, and a few stripes. Put a little bit on the strawberries. I'll probably put a little bit under here on the edges of the plates. These little dark bits. Some of these bits on the tray. A few wiggly bits on the roses. Underneath the cupcakes, the strawberry there, on the edge of the plates, and the edge here. And I think that I tend to then just have a little bit of a look, and see, I might just put a few little dots up here, and that's it. That's how quick it is. I don't put big blobs of it anywhere, I tend to kind of draw with it scratchingly, which is a little bit like what these are the ones that are done by Paper Rose, and you can see that the whole flower is not got embossing on it. It's kind of just in patches like little dots, and so I do something similar with the glossy accents. As I mentioned, I'm going to be doing a tutorial how to make one of these little uh, lint chocolate gift cards. It's slightly different, this one, than the last one. I've got a little pocket there for you to put a gift card in, and then a bookmark for you to write your sentiment on. And yeah, I just tried to make it look a little bit Valentine's Day. So I hope you enjoyed that video. It is my first tutorial, so I appreciate your understanding with that. I'm sure I'll get better with time, and as with with practice. And yeah, I hope to see you again soon. And yeah, look forward to talking to you about the next tutorial that I do with the rest of this collection. All right, thanks again, and all the best. Thanks, bye.